I'ma soon forget. So far between the lines, I'ma write a new set, a new beginning. Reflecting on the times that were that hard. I've fallen down many times, but I got mad hard.
Hey YouTube, we're back. Mexican Lee's Therapy Garage. It's your boy Mexican Lee. Doing a little something different today. As you can see, it's blazing hot. I got that fan going, and I got my other big fan going in the back of the shop, in the other door. It's hot. So I'm not gonna be out here too long, but I want to get the Regal going. I want to figure out what's wrong with it. My son went ahead and bought another car, parked the Regal out back. So it's been sitting out back on my property for, I don't know, a few months already. When I got old school, I don't like just leaving them sit unless I know I'm working on it or I want to drive it. He's kind of not really worrying about it right now. He's trying to get his money situation together. So that's fine, but I may need a second vehicle, and I don't really have a second vehicle yet because I'm still working on a Monte Carlo. The other vehicle that I had finished, I already sold, so now I'm only down to one vehicle, my truck. I need to get it in the shop at the dealership, get it worked on, but they want me to leave it for 2 to 3 weeks before they can even touch it, and I got to figure that situation out. So why not get the Regal going if I can and have a second vehicle, have a car that I can drive back and forth to work. So at this point, what we're gonna do is what I did last night. I did a compression check before I took anything apart on all 6 cylinders. It's a V6 4.3, came out of my 88 Chevy Caprice. I did a compression check all the way around. I got 90 psi, 90 plus psi all the way around, except for the number 1 and 3 cylinders. We don't have any coolant in the oil. It did overheat on my son once. He shut it down. I thought it was just something wrong with the fuel delivery. I didn't even think to look at the coolant. I figured he knew to do that, and he didn't. What ended up happening was he had a small leak on that little valve on the bottom of the radiator in the corner. He wasn't paying attention, so it was a leak that just went on as time went on, but it ended up running real low coolant. The motor overheated. He hurried up, shut it down because he didn't know what it was doing, and he pretty much parked it. Then I was wondering what was going on. Why was the car parked? He told me what happened. I said, well, it's got to be something wrong with your fuel or your tune-up, because he hadn't done that in a long ass time either. So I went ahead and bought everything that we needed to get for the tune-up, redid it. He fired it up. It started up fine until it got hot. Once the motor got warm, not going to say hot, once the motor got warm, it started missing, acting funny again. So we went ahead and shut it down. I took him to work for a while, then he went and bought a new car. This car sat after I had already put a brand new water pump on it, the whole deal. So, and the motor's been rebuilt. When I put it in my Caprice, it was all freshly rebuilt, everything brand new. So that's the backstory on the engine, what happened as far as it overheating. So it sat out back. I could fire it up, it'll fire up fine, it'll start missing, and it won't puff out any white smoke. There's no coolant mixing in oil. So my guess is the number 1 and 3 cylinders, the head gasket in the middle that divides the 2 of the cylinders, I'm guessing probably blew out. So we're gonna go ahead and start tearing the motor down. I'm gonna get the carb off, intake off, pull the distributor, and go ahead and get this head off on this side. The AC pump, all this shit was already charged, so I don't want to pull the AC hoses off. I'm just gonna take this off the pump. I'm gonna take it off and set it to the side. Then we're gonna go ahead and get everything, get access to the head. That way, get the power steering pump off, set that to the side, get everything out of the way. So we're gonna try to get that done here in a little bit, because I'm not trying to be out here in this heat all day long. So we'll cut you back on here in a little bit.
I don't need to know, I don't need to know. I don't need to know, I don't need to know right now. You just need to go, you just need to go. Stay up out the way, get up out my face, it's nonsense. I don't need to know, I don't need to know. I don't need to know, I don't need to know right now. You just need to go, you just need to go. Stay up out the way, get up out my face, it's nonsense. So I'm backless here with the pen say, this is your sensei. Strapped up with the mind of a menace. Gotta keep up, don't lie, you're offended. I don't even know what I did, so we gotta go back to where it all began. Used to be a friend, now just play, you just all pretend. I just saw within you, all the shit we been through. I will never come around, so I might as well forget you. Yeah, forget you, I might as well forget you. Never cross my way and your people won't have to meet.
Alright, YouTube, we're back on the Regal, taking a quick break off of the monte. I was hoping to really just find that the number 1 and 3 piston or cylinder had a break in the gasket right here, to where that's why it was only having 60 pounds in each cylinder as far as pressure. I don't break engines down, I don't rebuild them. So that was my dad's job. He always did my engines for me when I did all the body work, paint work. But this motor had been rebuilt already. I had it in my Caprice. Pistons are 40 over. I don't know if you can see that. And the reason why, I'm not sure, but I don't know why that piston is so clean. There wasn't any coolant in it. It did smoke a little bit, but there's no coolant mixed in my oil. So I'm not exactly sure why that cylinder is so clean compared to these two. Obviously something went in there and was washing it out, getting burned out, cleaned out. I don't know. But I also did notice that with the spark plugs, it was the same thing. This came out of number 3 cylinder, that real clean cylinder right there. Turn it around this way a little bit. You can see how much cleaner that spark plug is compared to the other two. So I'm not sure. There wasn't any liquid in there, no water, no coolant. A little bit of oil I felt on the spark plug when I first took it out, but I don't know if that was because I rubbed up against the block on the side or what after I took the valve cover off. But I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do, talk to a few different people. I was gonna junk the motor, but I really like this V6. I'm gonna try to see if it is savable. I might take it to a shop, have them take a look at it, see if it's worth saving. If not, then I'll just junk it and park the Regal out back and wait till my son gets his chips back up, and then go ahead and get a 350 put in here, Chevy. Transmission's still great. That shifted really great. I mean, the motor was a little beast for being a V6, man. I could burn rubber with this car, you know, being a V6, man. When I had it in my Caprice, that car ran great. So I'm gonna see what I can do. This is the cylinder right here, 3. See if you can catch it on camera. You see how much cleaner it is compared to those two. The top one and the middle one were the ones that were giving me 60 pounds of pressure. That bottom one had 90, so I'm not sure. I'm hoping the heads aren't warped. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So I was hoping to just be able to slap another gasket on here, torque everything down, put the intake back on, fire it up, but I'd hate to go through all that work and the block be junk. I kind of moved the pistons, all 3 of them, a little bit. They do move just a little. I don't know if they're supposed to or not. I can't remember. When my dad would always put my motors together, I would sit there and watch him put the piston rings together, put the pistons in, all that stuff, but I can't remember, man. That's not my forte, working and breaking down blocks. I can paint them up and make them real nice. I can change all the gaskets on them and do all that. I just don't dig into the bottom half of the blocks. So let me go ahead and cut this camera off. We're gonna go ahead and take out some more stuff. I'm gonna leave that head like that. Got the radiator out. Got some crap right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to pushing, get all these wires out the way, get the water pump off. Well, I might even leave that on, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the tranny out with the motor Exhaust is already unhooked on both sides, so all I got to do is the starter, the motor mount bolts, take those out, undo the transmission from underneath as far as the shift linkage, the speedometer cable, and the trans bracket motor mount, undo that, and then undo the drive shaft from the back, pull the drive shaft out, put a plug in the back of the trans, and go ahead and get my chain and get ready to yank this bad boy out. So let me go ahead and get to work. I only got maybe an hour or so, and I gotta hurry up, go in the house, take a shower, get my work clothes ready, and hit the sack. So we'll cut you back on here in a little bit. All right, YouTube, we're back. Mexican Leads Therapy Garage. We got the motor out. It's the next day. My son, as soon as we both got out of work, came straight out here, went ahead and got everything, the rest of the whatever we had to hook up, the chains, cherry picker, got all that situated, got everything out. So, real quick recap. The V6 is out. I went ahead and put the head back on. I'm gonna go ahead and take it to the local shop here in Fort Worth and see if it is savable, if it's worth even going back in and fixing stuff. And then if not, we're gonna junk it and I'll just get a 350, or he will. But we'll go ahead and clean everything back up later. We ain't gonna do it now because I need to get back on that. We're gonna get the sunroof in there. So just wanted to give y'all a recap. Did something a little different this time. Pulled my son's motor out. We're gonna get a 350 put in here soon. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing to the machine shop, see if it's worth saving. If not, oh well, she gotta go. So again, man, hit that like button for me, y'all. If y'all like my content, hit that like button for me. Share the videos, you know, comment if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. But even if you want to hate, you don't like the content, at least hit that like button. At least check it out, hit that like button for me. But your boy Mexican Leaf signing off. Peace.
It's time I picked up all the pieces. It's so frustrating. Let me out of this cage. I'm not listening no more. 'Cause you're the one that's wrong, and you're gonna regret this life. All your words I'ma soon forget. So far between the lines, I'ma write a new set, a new beginning. Reflecting on the times that were that hard. I've fallen down many times, but I got mad hard.